I've seen beautiful homes ruined by one or two small choices, and in this video, I'm going to tell you about the top 10 most obvious things that cheapen our homes. And even as an interior designer, I have done some of these myself. Now, if you're looking at my space and thinking it looks pretty cheap as well, that is very fair. I am actually in a hotel room at the moment. This is what my home actually looks like if you are curious to see. And let's jump right on into this video. Number 10, I'm going to call out my male audience here, and I'm so sorry to dig into you guys so soon, but what is the deal with the electric green faux plants? Don't get me wrong, I love plants, whether they be faux or otherwise, but when they get bright green, they just cheapen your home. And I was having a big ponder about this the other day, wondering why we don't like it, and I've come to the conclusion that it's because they look poisonous. In the real world, with animals and plants alike, if something is too bright, it tends to set off a signal in our brain letting us know, hey, that thing is probably too good to be true and we should probably not touch that. And I believe that it's the same with these faux plants. So it's great that you want to incorporate plants into your home, just make sure they look a little bit more realistic. Number 9 is scuffed walls. And if you have pets, children, or you yourself are an absolute mess, no matter how hard you try, trust me, I am the exact same, having scuffed walls can feel like an uphill battle. And no matter how hard you try, this slow accumulation just ends up occurring no matter what you do. I would highly suggest trying to clean your walls. However, if you do have eggshell or matte finishes, I would actually suggest repainting. Now, I'm not expecting you to go ahead and repaint your walls every 6 months. However, with these sheen finishes, if you try to clean them, it actually ends up making things worse. So it's actually easier to repaint. The good thing with touch-ups is that it's very similar to like when you mop tile. It just ends up feeling crisper and cleaner. Honestly, the hardest part about touch-ups is blending the old with the new. And if you stick around till mistake number 2, we discuss this in a lot more depth. So make sure you stick around. Number 8 is furniture that is too small. More often than not, I find that people tend to undersize their furniture instead of oversize. You may have seen that people tend to undersize their rug, but other common pitfalls tend to be the sofa, the coffee table, and even art pieces as well. The reason why this looks cheap is usually just due to scale and proportions. It feels like you're not using the entirety of your space, or perhaps it feels just really, really low. So you may have seen that your floor lamp is only like this high, and so it doesn't extend up into the higher part of your room, and so everything just feels very low to the ground, and this just ends up making the space feel unused and then feels a little bit cheap. My biggest suggestion is to go just a little bit bolder. Try to go for the sofa that has the deeper inset seat. Maybe go for a larger coffee table, or even opt to go for the size up with the art piece that you want to get. By filling the space more proportionally, it'll end up feeling a whole lot more luxurious. And as the Americans like to say,
bigger is better.
A big problem that I have been seeing in the last couple of years, especially with the rise of minimalism, is the lack of personal clutter. Now, I am not saying that minimalism is inherently a bad thing. I actually think it's quite honorable to not want to do overconsumption, and I certainly understand that myself. However, I've found that a common thing that minimalists will do is remove what makes them them. They'll completely remove all their hobbies, all the things that they like, for the explicit visuals and aesthetics of minimalism, and then end up getting something from Target that creates that minimalist look, but then it doesn't tie in at all with them. Or even worse so, the ultra minimalists will completely remove any form of decoration, and that makes your home feel cheap, because even if you have this very polished look, if you have no decorations, it feels like you've run out of money and you couldn't go ahead and decorate. So something for you minimalists out there, I would highly suggest just thinking about intentional ways to decorate. I am not suggesting that you go ahead and just become a maximalist and just add stuff for the sake of adding stuff, but think about the things that you're interested in and think about really nice ways to incorporate it back into your home. So let's say you like the Roman Empire. Perhaps you can find a bust of a Roman philosopher to add to your decorations. Or perhaps you have a really cute kitty cat. Maybe you can go ahead and get a commissioned art piece from an artist that has the silhouette of your cat. There are a lot of really nice ways to be intentional about decorations, even if it is on a minimalist scale. And that'll help elevate your home to the next level. Number 6 is a big one that irks me, and honestly, it is in most homes. It's even in my own. And that is not committing to tiles and backsplashes. So this can look like a tiled backsplash that only goes to the bottom of your top cabinets. This could be the tiled area in your shower. It doesn't go all the way to the ceiling. Oftentimes when we look at really nice celebrity or designer homes, there tends to be an overuse of materials, whereas in homes like ours, that tends to not be the case, and it ends up making our homes feel cheap. Admittedly, this is probably the hardest one to fix because it is very hard to color match tiles and get the same tiles. It is very, very difficult to put in the money to go ahead and fix these things. But let's say we can't go ahead and renovate and we only have a little bit of money to fix this up. What can we do? Well, there are 2 options. The first one is to add a tile trim or even add a ledge. You may have seen this in a lot of kitchens for the last year or 2. They'll have this like ledge that kind of blocks off the actual marble, and instead of going all the way to the ceiling, you've got this nice ledge in the same material usually to kind of frame it in. Or alternatively, you can color block the remaining part of that area. So if you have a backsplash that doesn't go all the way to the ceiling and it's gray, you can get that color matched and then use that paint to paint to the ceiling so then it feels like it's a little bit more intentional. This isn't a perfect solution, so let me know in the comments below if you have any other suggestions as well. Number 5 is for my IKEA and Target lovers out there. Now, I will say that these brands do have some really nice stuff, but their art is not one of them. When we have mass-produced art in our homes, it ends up giving off a staged feeling and thus makes our home feel cheap. You may remember maybe, I think it was 10 years ago, there was this one particular picture, I think it was from Kmart or Target, and it was of this Highlands cow. Every man and his dog had this picture, and honestly, it was a nice picture, but the problem was that because everyone had it, it lost its value. It just felt cheap because everyone could get it.
And when everyone's super, no one will be.
We have a sea of amazing and talented artists out there that can do pretty much any style, any color, anything that you want in the entire world. I would highly suggest checking out pages like Blue Thumb. This is where there are a whole bunch of different artists and you can commission work. Now, if you are balling on a budget, this may not be the right website for you, but that is quite okay. It just means that you will have to either A, go thrifting, or B, make your own pieces. But the thing is that having these more intentional pieces of art will make an absolute major impact into your home, and it will no longer feel cheap. It'll feel intentional and luxurious. Number 4 may scare some of you, especially those of us that aren't as confident with our design styles, but matching furniture ends up making your home look cheap. The reason why is that it just ends up all feeling very matchy-matchy, but I do understand why people purchase these. It takes the guesswork out and it makes the space feel cohesive. Instead, I would personally suggest having no more than 2 matching items in one space to help with the variety in a home. I will say though that some brands have taken note in this and have started to change their collections to have a little bit more variety. So IKEA did a collection recently called Stockholm that has a lot of variety and makes the entire collection feel really nice and fresh. So if you're interested in that collection, I talk about it a little bit here in this video. This next one isn't one that I find homeowners tend to make the mistake of, but I do find that a lot of builders tend to make the mistake. Why do we need 20,000 downlights in our home? I genuinely do not get it. Like, the only thing that I can see it as a positive for is when you're trying to sell your home. It's great for staging and making it all look bright and light and new. But when it comes to actually living in a home, it is not the vibe and honestly gives a cheap aesthetic no matter how nice your decor is. So I want you to think about how you want your space to feel with lighting. Do you want a cozy aesthetic? If you do, then you'll probably want a lot of table lamps and floor lamps scattered throughout your home to create that warm, cozy, inviting look. If you're someone that is a little bit more architectural and designer savvy, perhaps some really nice wall sconces and track lighting will be more to your liking. Whatever you prefer, that's not what matters here, but those downlights are not to be used. I am not suggesting to go ahead and get rid of them because that's just silly, but I am suggesting that you have alternative lighting to really elevate your home. As I alluded to at the beginning of this video, I talked about mixing the old with the new. And number 2 is such a big one that I find design enthusiasts tend to fall into, and that is contrived styling moments. Now, what am I talking about here? This is where something feels just a little too polished, like you're not allowed to touch it or like mess with it in any way, shape, or form. And the reason why is because it's just a little too nicely done. Perhaps it's a little too controlled with colors, textures, a certain aesthetic. So then as soon as you want to actually use the space in your life, it just clashes. A lot of the time we may see this with a fully minimalist home that has a purely neutral aesthetic. As soon as you put your car keys right next to it, it ruins the vibe. This is not how we want to be styling. We want to be mixing all different things from color, texture, the age of different things, and even just having those happy little accidents as well.
We don't make mistakes. We have happy accidents.
By having this variety, it ends up creating a much nicer home. And although those contrived styling moments can look great for a singular photo, they're not great for real life and real living. And it ends up making your home feel cheap because of the juxtaposition between real life and that styled piece. And finally, number 1 is the lack of texture. This one tends to be a common one people forget because texture is the thing that makes a space feel inviting. If you have everything that's all one singular material, it ends up feeling flat and cheap and very, very boring. You may have seen that people will use a chunky knitted throw as a way of adding texture into their sofa or even a bed. The reason why is that this texture is so contrasting to everything else in the space that it adds a cozy effect, and it certainly does that in a great way. That is a great way to start off, but I would also suggest trying out different materials and playing with those textures so then you can create a much more inviting home. Now, if you would like to see a little bit more of those IKEA pieces that I discussed in today's video, make sure you check out this video here. And if you'd like to elevate your home to the next level, make sure you get my free downloadable down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next design adventure.